Argenti is probably the most doom-posted character of all time, even before his release. This is due to the fact that the Erudition class in general is looked down on and is seen as the worst class in HSR. If you're new to my channel, then I have good news for you. You are watching an Argenti guide made by a player who uses Erudition characters to their full potential. Picking Argenti's best light cones, relics, and Planar sets is backed by hours of work into spreadsheets. If you found the guide helpful, consider liking the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on up-to-date information. I always read everyone's comments, so feel free to ask questions that were not answered in the video. Without further ado. A classic knight of the Knights of Beauty who is piously seeking his missing Aeon, Idrila the Beauty. Forthright and candid, he wanders the cosmos espousing the virtues of Idrila's good name. Argenti is a 5-star physical character that specializes in dealing AoE damage and gathering extra energy to enhance his ultimate, which further improves his burst damage output. He follows the Erudition path. There is beauty in simplicity, and this is most likely Argenti's motto. Argenti has the most simple and straightforward kit by far when it comes to limited character releases. Argenti's technique would give himself 15 extra energy on battle entry. His A4 trace provides extra 2 energy for each enemy that spawns in battle. Last but not the least, his talent provides 3 energy for each enemy he hits with any of his attacks. All this energy to buffer the core of his kit, merit bestowed in my garden. Argenti's enhanced ultimate, which can only be used if he manages to fill his maximum 180 energy capacity. At level 10, this enhanced ultimate would deal 280% of Argenti's attack as a true AoE, and further unleashes bounce attacks that deals 95% of Argenti's attack to a random enemy 6 times, for a grand total of 570% single target damage. In most cases, the true AoE damage is strong enough to wipe out any trash mob and allow the bounce attacks to focus on the beefier targets. If there's only one high priority target, then this unfortunate enemy will receive a grand total of 850% of Argenti's attack as physical damage. An 850% attack modifier already sounds very strong, but it doesn't end there. You see, Argenti boasts the second highest base attack stat in the game, and is further complemented by his minor traces. At level 10, his talent provides a free 25% critical chance at maximum stacks, making it easy for him to have a proper critical build. But wait, there's more. The initial AoE hit has a toughness breaking capability of 60, while each bounce attack has 15. That is a grand total of 150 toughness break on the main target. To put that into perspective, that is the same amount of break caused by a 10-stack Lightning Lord, or the same amount of toughness break caused by 5 basic attacks. Why is this important? Because the physical element has one of the strongest, if not the strongest, break effect in the game. It boasts very high upfront damage and strong backloaded damage through its bleed effect that scales through the enemy's maximum HP. So unlike other damage dealers, Argenti's damage output is significantly increased by his ability to utilize the physical element's break effect, somewhat similar to Himeko and the fire element's strong break effect damage. As someone who has played many Erudition characters, I can confidently say that a solo attack pattern cannot properly portray their real strength. This definitely applies to other damage dealers as well, but it is much more prominent when it comes to the Erudition class. I will make a whole separate video that will talk about much more realistic attack patterns for Erudition characters in the future. For now, please settle with this generic attack pattern that is applicable for any player. By using an energy rope, using 4 skill casts, and gaining a total of 26 energy from mixed procs of Argenti's talent and A4 trace, Argenti will have a 4-turn enhanced ultimate rotation. We will use this on my calculator to figure out Argenti's best light cones, relics, and Planar sets. This is Argenti's light cone ranking. As most of you already expected, his best light cone is his signature, an instant before a gaze. It provides the much-needed critical damage boost that works with his talent. The ultimate damage increase based on energy works perfectly with his massive energy capacity. His best free-to-play options are the seriousness of breakfast and make the world clamor. For Day 1 players, World Clamor has been given for free twice so far. If you manage to get it to rank 5, then it is objectively better than a rank 5 breakfast, since you don't have to go through annoying conditions and you get free extra starting energy on battle entry. However, if your World Clamor is stuck at rank 2, then you are better off with a rank 5 breakfast. Argenti's strongest 4-star light cone would be, "Today is another peaceful day." At rank 5, it is even slightly above both rank 1 before dawn and Milky Way. This is due to the fact that it has the stats of a 4.5-star rarity, and its effect works in synergy with Argenti's massive energy capacity. Even at rank 1, it will compete well against both rank 5 Breakfast and World Clamor. A rank 5 Genius's Repose is just slightly behind the other premium alternatives, but still significantly stronger than the free-to-play options. For the Cavern Relics, nothing beats 4-piece champion of Streetwise Boxing. While the effects are pretty straightforward, it is important to note that this set provides Argenti his much-needed attack stats. If you remember his best light cone options, they mostly provide huge damage percent boosts. Therefore, Argenti is hungry for attack percent boosts. Aim for critical chance or critical damage body relic. Speed or attack main stat for the boots. For the Planar set, Inert Salsado will be his best in slot. It makes getting a proper critical build easier and grants a solid boost to his main source of damage, his enhanced ultimate. Best alternative would be Glamoth. Salsado and Glamoth basically have no difference if you're hitting the 135 speed requirement. However, if you are hitting the 160 speed requirement, then Glamoth is better by around 3.3%. It is not particularly hard to reach 160 speed with the help of Hanya, our newest 4-star harmony, which is something to consider when choosing Argenti's Planar set. Aim for an energy regeneration rope and physical damage sphere. Argenti's first Eidolon allows each stack of his talent to provide an additional 4% critical damage boost. Therefore, at maximum stacks, this Eidolon provides a total of 40% critical damage increase. The overall gain from E0 to E1 is around 14%. Argenti's second Eidolon provides a 40% attack increase when his ultimate is used against 3 or more enemies at once. If conditions are met, not only will it strengthen Argenti's ultimate, but the attack boost also applies on his next attack. The overall gain from E0 to E2 is around 29%. Argenti's fourth Eidolon instantly provides 2 talent stacks and increases the maximum stack limit by 2. Factoring in his third Eidolon, which gives 2 extra talent levels, Argenti's talent can now provide up to 33.6% total critical chance increase. Also, this Eidolon works in synergy with his first Eidolon, which makes the 40% critical damage increase now cap at 48%. The overall gain from E0 to E4 is around 44%. Argenti's final Eidolon allows his ultimate to ignore 30% of the target's defense. If there are no other defense reduction debuffs applied, this translates to an 18.6% damage increase. The more defense reductions are applied, the stronger this Eidolon gets, which means depending on the enemy weakness or his teammates, equipping 4-piece Genius set or 4-piece Prisoner set can be strong alternatives. By default, the overall gain from E0 to E6 is around 74%. Considering that Argenti wants to spam his enhanced ultimate as much as possible, it is almost mandatory to pair him with our Foxian beauty with the most flexible neck, Ting Yun. It is important to note that Ting Yun needs 2,600 plus attack stat if you want to maximize the effect of her skill on an Argenti equipped with a premium light cone. For the sustain, the best option would be Huo Huo for more energy regeneration, but she isn't mandatory. For the last slot, it can be pretty flexible. But considering how buff-receptive Erudition characters are, I will recommend Hanya for the possibility of equipping both Planetary Rendezvous LC and Penacony Planar set, which further improves Argenti's performance. You might be wondering if there's any hope for Break Effect Argenti and Kafka pairing. Will it clear content at a reasonable pace? Yes. Is it optimal? No. If you are looking for a physical breaker to pair with Kafka, I would still recommend Sushang or Luca over Argenti. Argenti is extremely strong under a solo carry setup. His potential is wasted in a DOT team. Argenti will be the strongest Erudition on his release. Should you try to pull or build Argenti if you get the chance? Personally, I would say yes. Ever since I played solo carry setups for any Erudition character in the early days of HSR, I realized that you'd be pretty much set for the game as long as you have an Erudition character built for every element. Argenti's release would finally fill in the empty slot of the physical element. Erudition characters don't really care whether they are fighting one or multiple enemies at once. They make quick work of any content as long as they are in a solo carry setup where their full potential is reached. This was shown time and time again in my showcases where so-called worst characters could comfortably clear the hardest contents of the game. People say that one of Erudition's big weaknesses is that they require multiple supports to shine. The thing is, why would that even be considered a weakness? Why would buffing up a buff receptive damage dealer be some sort of disadvantage? One should not be faulted when they are playing the game correctly. In a game where the majority of bosses summon additional enemies or have stages where you need to fight two high-threat enemies at the same time, I can only see how effective the Erudition class is instead of considering it as a dead class. Argenti is no exception to this nature of Erudition characters. He is extremely buff receptive and will pummel through any content granted that you are providing him the support that he needs. I would only discourage you from pulling for Argenti if you already have a well-built Clara. But even then, Clara requires certain conditions to perform properly. Argenti, on the other hand, would function well in any kind of situation. And that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one.